they're rookies.
We'll see how they shake things off coming in to pick some bans.
You gotta wonder how much of this is. He's such a confidence guy, right? But when you really that badly want to prove that you're better than someone, how much of that is actually weighing on your decision making? How much of that is affecting their mental state? You know, is he going in there saying, I have to make this outplay, I have to make this happen? Because a lot of what TL's mistakes have been are these like over aggression. You know, it's constant. Just try to make something happen. When you see an opportunity, they go for it, whether they should or not, and maybe that's playing into it.
Poppy's going to be banned out this time, coming from the side of Immortals. They know how much it can disrupt that fight, become such a powerhouse, and Azir being the final ban this time from Liquid. What do Immortals start with this time?
It was Ryze.
The Echo's left open, but the Ryze is there as well.
That was the ban from game 1 that TL subbed the Azir in for. The GP, though, is something that I think you could have left up. I think the GP right now may not be as potent, but that's the thing is TL, when I look at how much they've banned GP, they've banned it every game in this series, they banned it all 5 games against CLG, they banned it in every game against Energy, and they banned it throughout the regular split. That champion tilts Piglet with the global ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it really does have to do, I think, with this is a team that loves to have bot lane focus, right? They love to get Piglet ahead. They love to try to snowball that lane, and GP ulti is something that really helps to counteract that. And we heard them talking about the desk, you know, get Piglet onto Kalista, you know, get Matt onto the Janna, take this away.
Absolutely.
Go to your 2v2 strength, but they haven't done it yet. Maybe they will this game.
They just need that protection for Piglet, and he'll be able to carry this game. We see the Urgot hover. Rango Knife Cat as well, but they're just showing that love, showing that old school EU love on the side of ReignOver. Waiting for those picks from Immortals side, however, we did see those Urgots coming in recently, a little showing that love to the
This is
I know.
We're not going to see it
No,
here.
it's more the hover for haha. Here's the hover.
Yeah, but they did get their hands on Kalista for Piglet in the bot lane on TL's side, and they took away the jungler that ReignOver just crushed on. Now Dardoch is going to try to invade. Look at this, though. It's going to be the pick here, and WildTurtle on Lucian.
Janna.
This was the question is, why aren't Immortals giving Lucian to WildTurtle when they threw it up to Huni, and then he played Jhin every game that he could get his hands on it?
Would you flex, man? That's why.
But here's the thing, is Lucian is, I guess, a flex for Immortals.
Right.
Could still be Huni's.
And with this lane, you know, with the Janna Lucian, it'll be interesting to see if Immortals has the confidence to go into that 2v2 themselves, you know, just maybe say bring it on. We can match you guys.
Absolutely.
You know, Turtle has actually been coming up a lot more than Piglet has this series. He's been out farming him a lot. He has been coming up huge in team fights, and he's been a big impactor. So we'll see if they can actually match up.
And it's always a little strange too, and I think Immortals know this, that there's a point in the game for Team Liquid based on how they play the macro game that Piglet is split pushing by himself. And both games they have punished that and gone over and said, all right, we're going to push here and we're actually going to get some kills. And with the Maokai picked up, I think they might actually go either Gragas or they might go Echo here, but it looks like it is going to be the Gragas top again for Huni.
Yeah, a couple quick locked-ins there for the Elise and the Gragas. And yeah, we saw Huni look great on Gragas in game number 1. Fantastic game. Also did come out from ReignOver in game number 1. So definitely 2 champions that they had success on in the first time. And TL, you know, is going to be gifted that counter pick once again. And FeniX, with game 1, he was not able to get done what he needed to get done on LeBlanc.
Right.
And will he be able to come up big? Because this team needs to turn around. He could be that spark coming from the mid lane with a counter pick. Maybe he could get a solo kill, get something going for his team. We'll see if he's going to be able to do it.
What can that be at this point?
You could pick Cassio into Ryze again.
And it could be the Cassio Ryze. But we will have to see. Is the Orianna going to be locked in without the Kindred really being in the game? Makes it a little bit easier for those ults to count. You get the Maokai in there, you kind of have a Bash Brothers composition, and let Piglet carry from the outside. Still with options. 6 seconds left on the clock. Liquid looking at the Lissandra in the mid lane.
Yeah, and I mean, Lissandra is a fantastic pick, very strong. It's more of a, instead of kill your laner, it's more shove out your lane, then go kill someone else's
Kill
lane.
someone else.
And this is something that TL has been sticking with, the double TP. They've been playing it a lot, but we talked about it. They have not been utilizing it well, and it's something that we have to see them do. You know, once again, Pobelter is going to take the combat summoner, not the TP, and this needs to be something that TL exploits. It needs to be FeniX rotating around, getting the TPs, you know, 4-man bot, 5-man bot with double TP, these kind of things, and they need to get big advantages. I want to see FeniX and Lourlo use their TPs to get Piglet ahead on Kalista, and I want to see TL go into the 2v2. Play to your strengths, let the world champion do what he does.
Best way to do that is, like they said on the desk, find those matchups. Keep going back to the lane, make them run around the map, and should cause them to follow you. It's going to be difficult, though. We're seeing kind of that lack of confidence for TL now with 2 games against them, and there is caution there to be had. But too much caution can lead to that loss.
Definitely.
It's going to be difficult. Keep updating those Twitter votes. Send your predictions, as always, for this series to @LOL Esports with the hashtag IMTWin or the hashtag TLWin. That's not changing. Maybe your vote is. Keep it coming here. A lot of the TL fans are going to need you coming into this Game 3. It is match point for that 3rd place for Immortals, and they are looking very strong with some average 30-minute maps coming in for the first 2 games of the series. Mandalay Bay lighting up here for game number 3. We're about to get onto the Rift. Liquid looking to keep their 3rd place hopes alive against Team Immortals.
And they have a great draft to do it, right? They have a powerful 2v2 lane. They have a mid laner and a top laner who can rotate, who can support their team. These are the kind of role players. They have Dardoch, an aggressive early jungler. They have all the pieces in place to succeed. Now, the early game is going to be very important. Can they find that 2v2?
The match game. Can they play match game? Where will it go? It's going to require a little bit of wardage, but it looks like the line of scrimmage here is actually going to be what both teams go for. So only a little bit of knowledge is going to be given over in the beginning. Looks like it actually may just file out into standard lanes, however.
Lots of spears.
Certain that dominance, you gotta let him know.
He's backing the bush, though. They know he hasn't left the bush.
Yeah. Ooh.
They're going to get him with all that crowd control.
Oh, immediate rend, too.
And Piglet still should have time to base. He's going to be fine. So.
Hit that fountain by 120, you're good to go.
Yeah, you have time to base and actually swap if you want to. You can go into either lane. You know that they didn't get lane swap wards on you, and you didn't actually get them on the other team either. So both teams are blind.
They are actually assuming that it is going to be that swap. You can see Piglet is heading up top, and Immortals did not actually make that swap. WildTurtle never based. Adrian healed back up and headed bot lane. So TL, I have to think, is misreading this.
Yeah. Also, you can tell Matt walking straight through the jungle instead of actually trying to go into Immortals jungle, because this makes him late to Gromp, which makes it so that this is actually a very clean start here. And then Immortals actually get to harass TL, and Dardoch, he's going to have to smite this away. But look at that, there's both members there. They're trying to give Dardoch soul experience. Yep, that's why. Got level 2, immediate quick draw over the wall, got the exhaust out of Adrian. Normally you split experience on the Gromp when you double jungle, but giving it to the jungler, immediate level 2 there.
Lourlo is definitely going to have a tough time with that. Up and coming. They're going to go ahead and steal the smalls away from the blue.
Auto.
So the
Oh, he got it!
Wow.
That's a tilter.
He lives in the jungle. He always lives in his opponent's jungle, and he continues to do it here in this game. On that Bard, he has the chime speed, and he uses it to great advantage.
Oh, Adrian got it!
All right.
All right, getting it on the Bard is one thing with the time in the queue.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Okay.
That one's more on TL. You know, come on, guys. Dardoch, Lourlo.
Yeah, that
They can't give that up to a Janna.
Okay, I put that a little bit on Lourlo there.
Yeah.
Your job should be to zone out the person as the top lane.
So that means they're pushed off of Gromp for that, and then Lourlo loses that as well.
Yeah.
It's only getting harder.
Oh.
Pretty unlucky, Riv.
Yeah, man.
To a 250 in here, Immortals. Able to get a little something for themselves, break that confidence maybe that TL could have in the beginning of the game of getting themselves in with Matt's pressure. But nobody's gone down just yet. We saw ReignOver with a very, very high kill percent participation last game, and could see him doing that once again here on Elise. Taking Scuttle for bottom side control, and they should be able to take this turret down as well.
Gonna be close. They're gonna have to wait for the next wave, actually. So TL will be able to take the first turret and gonna be able to bounce that nicely. So Lourlo is gonna have that set up for himself.
I don't know if you bounce it though. I think you push it. Oh, TP to the bot side so he can catch the wave. What is Lourlo doing? What is he doing?
That did not just happen.
What is he doing?
Howling Gale goes out. They're going to see ReignOver coming in too. This is going to be 4 people getting on this. ReignOver doesn't pick anything up, but Lourlo TPs to the bot lane in error.
And all last game, I was sitting there thinking, Lourlo looks like he has nerves. We've seen Matt adjust a little bit to the pressure. Dardoch has seemed to adjust to it as well in the LCS, but it always kind of looked like Lourlo had never really adjusted to even the 300-person stage in the LCS, and this just looks completely out of style. Like that's not something you should ever even consider doing.
I mean, that was a tragedy, straight up. That was a massive misplay. And now you have a level 1 Maokai heading to the top lane, who just wasted his TP and gave first blood to the Lucian.
Yeah.
We talked about how you have to get the 2v2 advantage. You have to be able to push that as the advantage
Right.
for TL. Well, guess what? You just gave their AD carry 400 gold.
And it could be even more till the mid lane. Pobelter was trying to draw him in. Dardoch had the same idea with the counter gank in mid here. You can see how hungry Team Liquid is to get something back off of that play. They try to go right for
ReignOver
Pobelter
looking
in the
for
mid
it.
lane. Lourlo in the top. They take the little guy for another ride, and he's actually able to flash himself out of that one. Lourlo staying safe. The TP's down, though, so he is going to have a lot of trouble
Oh, they're staying,
finding
though.
a way in.
And
They-
ReignOver doesn't have flash. He's going to get caught.
a lot of resources to send up there just to help Lourlo. Hopefully they can come up with something here.
It's a red buff. He's going to have the slow here.
End of the line hits. The rappel goes up, and that's going to be a finish kill. They're going to allow that to go to Lourlo. Actually, a very smart play.
I actually think
I
that,
think it could have gone to anybody with the Ignite.
yeah, that's going to equalize it over, and now Lourlo's actually going to have a slight advantage. But I'm definitely a little bit happier that he got the level 3, because the turret dive at the top, they did that because he was still level 2. If he was level 3 and had Twisted Advance, it would have been very different. Now, he's a little bit safer. So, Piglet actually trying to sneak a camp, though.
Yeah, and Piglet's pretty far forward here. Pobelter's coming. There's the flash.
Oh, boy.
All right.
He gets out, though.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing we didn't get a chance to talk about with that top lane fight, one of the things that I actually kind of ironically did push that NTL's advantage was Adrian stopped FeniX's TP, right? Adrian actually used his flash there. He flashed forward and tornadoed the TP from FeniX. So sounds like a great play, right? Yes. But the problem is Dardoch was coming in there, Matt was coming in there, and that TP getting canceled gave Huni and ReignOver the confidence to stick around. It actually ended up kind of baiting them into staying around and dying.
The little things.
Yeah, make a big difference.
Actually seeing Dardoch go for the Merc Treads first, speaking of differences, usually he's the double longsword or the red smite early. It just looks like he's trying to have this mobility, and the Merc Treads make sure he's not getting hit by cocoons like Xmithy was and making them last pretty much the entire duration and getting exploded. So Dardoch a little safer with that buy.
Good pick up against Ryze as well. You know,
Oh, yeah.
He's a team with a lot of CC, so definitely something you want to be careful against, and he's going to take that into account.
So Lourlo roaming down from the top side. He's all farmed out and pushed. It's like it might just be kind of ward duty for him as he places one in the pixel brush. Having a bit of a hard game. The kill helps him get back in, as we were saying before.
Well,
and we're still seeing FeniX actually be able to control Pobelter, which helps. Maybe FeniX can get his teleport play in soon.
Yeah, that kill going over to Lourlo and the fact that they were able to orchestrate that on TL side kind of absolves him from what happened, right? It allows you to kind of get back off of tilt and say, okay, you know what? I didn't completely lose the game for my team. I didn't have people tilt. We were able to play it calm, and now we have to continue to play it calm because we're back at even.
There's a good and a bad in that, right? It happens so early in the game, oh no, but it happens so early in the game that it can be fixed right away.
Yes.
And they were actually able to come up with that fix.
You can't beat yourself up, though.
No, you can't beat yourself up. They have to be ready. Smart play here by Liquid to back off, not really having too much vision in their jungle. They don't know what else is behind these members of Immortal, but not getting any pressure in the other lanes here as they use most of the resources top.
This is the part of the game where Piglet split pushes to get a CS advantage and experience advantage over WildTurtle. And you notice that Piglet has hit 6 pretty much way ahead of WildTurtle every game in this series because they do this with him. But the thing is, are they even going to get that turret on time? And it doesn't look like it's not even half HP yet.
And you can also see the other side of that is that Matt is then paired up with Lourlo. So Lourlo can fall behind an XP, and Matt does as well because Matt is roaming. So, you know, the XP isn't just coming out of thin air, right? It's a trade-off. They're saying that Piglet gets the extra resources, so Matt and Lourlo lose out a little bit on that. But they're saying that, you know, Piglet, he can carry through.
That is the plan. Finally on to Kalista here as we make our way into Game 3. See if he can put this one on his back. Still FeniX in the mid lane to put out some pressure on this Lissandra up on CS, but hasn't made too much of a big play on it just yet. It's been a quiet mid lane, to say the least.
Well, I don't think it's going to be quiet for too much longer, mostly because Immortals took the top and bottom turret, and TL, they still have to get that bottom turret. They weren't able to actually answer it. So I assume that this is the part where Adrian starts playing around the mid lane, as well as WildTurtle. Because Immortals, when they get those 2 outer turrets down, they don't sit on their hands. They start making more plays, especially if you didn't answer one of their turrets. Because now they know we have a gold advantage. It's about 1,000 worth of the turret. And now we get to push up. Now we get to at least place wards around this area. We get to take control of it. We get to take anything that's around here.
FeniX does have his TP up now, and I really do feel like he has to look for something. You know, the more standard builds that you kind of see from Lissandra is going for CDR. You see people picking up early Lucidity boots. You see people picking up, you know, Morellonomicon or some sort of CDR so they can go for these roams, get the ultimates off non-stop, but he hasn't done that. He's building Warfare lane, and he's just been sitting in lane.
Yeah.
You know, we need to see him move around and make something happen, because as far as straight up team fighting power, I think the Ryze does eclipse the Lissandra. The Lissandra needs to get picks and snowball your team.
It's almost like he's set up to say, we will have a good reactive play to yours when we TP in on that fight, not when we initiate.
Yeah, and looking at what just happened across the map there, it's going to be Dragon going over to Immortals, but also ReignOver and Adrian walked up to the blue buff, so Dardoch had to smite it away, so no blue for FeniX, whereas Pobelter has his blue, and he's able to throw out spells and stack up that tier.
10 minutes in here, looking at just about 1.4K in the lead for Immortals, and Liquid finally getting control of a side of the map they may be able to use.
They're looking
Fate's
for it.
Call.
Oh, whoa!
Whoa! Long ride. Matt's going to try to come in as well. They'll just waltz on out of this one. Good flash, though, by Huni. Unfortunately, no Immortal members there to pick up on that kill for Lourlo. He's forced to flash out. And Liquid having good control over the jungle. Unfortunately, that one fizzles out for him, and they're not able to get any aggression out of it.
Yeah, Dardoch is sitting on 1,300 gold right now, so ReignOver definitely has the item advantage despite being down in CS. So you don't want to fight that. You don't want to be able to actually give ReignOver the opportunity to get a combo on you.
And we did see Piglet try to make use of that Fate's Call, but not able to do too much. And FeniX going to be chunked out here a bit by Pobelter.
Yeah. This is why you need Abyssal Scepter early.
Yeah, fair.
It looked pretty painful. Pobelter still ready to go in for another one as well with this cleanse up. As you were saying, Zirene, everybody kind of hovering around mid now to try and open up, crack the final door open, and have free reign right into the first part of Team Liquid's jungle.
Yeah.
A lot of resources here for Team Liquid as well, so it looks like this one will stand for now.
The experience can become a fairly big deal. You know, Lourlo down a level here. Matt is just hitting 5 now. He was actually 4, where the solo laners were 8 on the other team. And you're so squishy at that point. If you actually do get caught by a Ryze, you're going to die instantly. So something he has to be aware of as well. But obviously an incredible Bard player. And him hitting 6 is going to be pretty big for the team too, because that does open up so much more as far as opportunities for initiation, for disengage, for turret dives. You can disable the turrets as well. So there's so much you could do with that Bard. And getting 6, although you obviously do want to prioritize getting the XP on your carries, is pretty big on Bard still.
It's not just EXP advantages too, right? Like that really matters, the Bard ultimate. But I'm looking at this 2-on-2 lane, and WildTurtle is already up 1,000 gold over Piglet, despite Piglet being in a lane where he's getting fed all of the CS. Well, Turtle's been able to equalize that, pass it, and he has that kill, as well as some of that turret gold from that top lane. So he's actually pretty far ahead of Piglet right now.
Yeah, and a lot of that is thanks to the first blood he picked up off of a Lourlo, as well as that extra turret, you know, the local gold, pretty big there too. So Turtle definitely carving out an advantage for himself. You know, he's been going pretty big in these last 2 games, and he's looking to be in a pretty good spot to carry in this game as well.
This is where Immortals siege the mid turret. You try to get it now because you know you have the level 6 advantage on support. Lourlo TPing from the side.
Fate's Call in, out. That level 5 still for Matt as Immortals stands toe-to-toe with them in front of their turret. Lourlo looks like he wants to go in, but they have to realize here they're definitely down in levels. It's going to affect the abilities. And what can be used onto FeniX right away? Adrian uses all summoner spells to get himself into the fight. Huni and WildTurtle are very low. It's going to be Lourlo trying to go deep into the fight. Nobody can really follow him. And a lot of summoners used by
ReignOver
just to get into range.
He didn't want to do that.
He wanted to refund that ticket as soon as he got on the ride.
ReignOver's going to gift one back, no big deal, but
ouchies.
Lourlo was going deep there, and at the same time, FeniX is actually flashing out of the fight.
Yep.
TL, though, they do kill the jungler. They're looking to push for mid.
WildTurtle on the other side. Huni has TP. So Huni was backing. They were looking for possibly a TP play if TL had continued to stay pushed forward.
Ryze ultimate
That fight, though, very close, and actually it could have gone a lot better for TL had they been a bit more on the same page. And you can see here over on the side, FeniX actually does get caught, and FeniX is going to have to self-ult himself, which takes away a lot of the damage that he is going to be able to do. And at this point, FeniX is like, I'm out of there, and Lourlo's going in. And look how low Huni and WildTurtle both were there. Had FeniX not flashed out, or had he taken his claw back in, I think he could have actually finished off both of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And that would have been massive for the team, but FeniX just did not have the confidence. He actually threw his claw back in. It hits them, but he doesn't take it back in for the free Q, and which would have been a double kill. So, you know, FeniX, I think he's doing well for himself this game. He did pick up a kill, but I definitely think that was a little bit of a misplay there, and I think he could have got a couple more for his team, and perhaps that could have got them the turret too.
You also think if he had ultied WildTurtle instead,
Yeah.
would have been more damage on him, or it would have been about the same damage, and
Right.
also it would have locked him up. Lourlo would have been able to get in range for the W, and then everybody would have been able to go on that, and you saw FeniX flashed away after the ultimate anyway.
Yeah.
And when you ulti a damage dealer, well, you're taking less damage, so he wouldn't have died. But, oh my god. That's commitment.
That's called pulling the trigger.
Yeah, there used to be needy carry there, but no longer.
He had flash, too.
Wow.
Can't flash when you're W'd. And Ryze showing off that burst.
Piglet using the heal to get into that one. We may even see a quick silver sash coming out of him in this game. It's going to be a very dangerous way to fight if he does not have Matt's ultimate regularly. Lourlo goes
What
in.
an ult from Matt!
No, he hit it on the turret. They might have wanted that damage. ReignOver is low. Nice ultimate coming in for FeniX, but he puts himself very dangerous here. The double kill could be worth, but there's enough DPS to drop this turret with the wave.
I think it's worth.
Yeah, and Matt was actually, I mean, it was a beautiful ultimate, but had he not hit the turret, they would have been so good.
Yeah.
I mean, he was able to isolate a couple members on the side, which allowed them to get that engage and pick up a couple kills. Still a good trade for TL overall, but not if they lose this turret. Dardoch on the backside, though.
Dardoch gonna smoke screen, Pobelter out. Fate's call for Matt. Gonna look for the binding after. No, Matt holds back. He's actually staying.
Turtle's
to
going for
protect
turret.
Piglet. And a great focus from Turtle on the right side, knowing he was out of danger. Takes the turret down. Immortals have been pecking at that mid turret for the last 5 minutes to finally get it to drop. See how they open up the map from here.
Yeah, Turtle 3-0 off of that, but here's the fight once again, and Matt looking for the ultimate, and had he not hit the turret, had he just got those 3 members, it would have been amazing because the turret would have been adding in that damage, but still, Lourlo goes in. FeniX actually gets ulted into the team, but is able to get out some really good damage, picks up a double kill for himself, and it's here that Lourlo's too low to re-engage. They have Dardoch there. Piglet's back in base, so they couldn't really continue the fight. And Immortals had the presence of mind to stay around, pick up that turret, which makes it a good trade for them in the end.
TPE down for FeniX, just used, coming out for Lourlo, so theirs are going to be kind of off and on, not being able to synergize for a little bit on those. 157 to 155 as mid lane stays very even in CS, but the kills are starting to push FeniX ahead just a little bit. Lourlo, after a really rough early game, we saw him come out of it early, and he's been able to stay consistent as that Maokai. Hopefully he's what the team needs when they get
Oh,
in.
Turtle.
Fights.
What?
FeniX flexing his muscles there a little bit. 2 completed items, and Turtle has the audacity to walk up to the 3-in-1 mid laner who just finished his 2nd item, and FeniX says thank you.
And Turtle's sitting there going, he has the audacity to walk up to the 3-0 Lucian. My 3 kills versus your 3 kills.
We were just talking about Turtle before this game as well, kind of saying there's definitely been a change in that mentality from the reserve Turtle who would hide in his shell to this guy that comes out and tries to break open plays for himself. It can still get him in a little bit of danger. Adrian with a nice monsoon on this one, and it looks like with Piglet coming in, they got good damage here on the backside. The split puts Dardoch in a bad spot. The fade's call, and it's on ReignOver. The binding locks him up on the wall. Adrian doing what he can. One last storm shield. The repel is up, and Adrian will completely fall. No, he stays alive. It's gonna be FeniX going down. How is Immortals turning this? Turtle again in the front. The shell is even up.
What a Q!
Stop that time, and it doesn't look like it's going to be finished. Does Turtle take the journey? He does. The binding against the wall. What is he doing in the pit alone? Committing suicide on this one.
Dragon!
He goes down. Lourlo takes him out. And Turtle going way too hard.
He got interrupted by the dragon knockup in his E.
Oh, it's not over just yet. Actually, the flash forced out there onto Matt, who got nervous seeing Huni body slam forward. Didn't know if he had his flash or his ult available, but what an insane fight. And it actually started off with the trick that CLG pulled to seal the deal on TL. TL actually did the double TP there. Came in with a bit of a surprise, but they were not able to finish people off.
I bet you that what ended up happening after that set is they practice how to have the top laner go first and then the mid laner immediately after. I bet you they tried that in scrims a bunch. And you can see here, Huni so low, almost gets burned down by the red smite. And then the follow-up here, FeniX goes a little too far forward, gets exhausted. It would have killed ReignOver outright. Maybe Huni in the backline as well. But right here, there's so many stacks in Pobelter, but Piglet, I don't know if he even has the mana to rend. His bar is so low right there.
Yeah.
Would have been a kill.
Immortals was so ridiculously low. Turtle with a bit of an overchase here into the pit.
He gets interrupted by the dragon here. So unlucky.
Oh.
That was the ReignOver. This is how you use magical. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Oh.
Crazy game.
But that is confidence you are seeing. It literally just oozing out of these guys right now, and it's kind of kicking them in the butt a little.
Yeah, and we're actually seeing a different build here from Dardoch. We're seeing the Phantom Dancer second, which gives Graves so much attack speed, which makes it so his auto attack reload has actually a very nice fluidity to it. But look at this, Piglet caught by the
Oh my God, ReignOver! Right over the shoulder of Team Liquid members onto Piglet. The next target is Matt. It's going to be more before Huni goes down. No, he falls quick.
They still have Dardoch.
Onto Lourlo. Where is FeniX? He's coming around the backside with a bunch of damage with Dardoch. Now it's a 2v2.
Oh. They're
standing tall. They're trying to finish off the kill. And it's going to be ReignOver once again with the sliver of health.
He's going to try to kill him.
Turtle gets fishing. Turtle gets the kill.
Oh
what a fight from Immortals! Liquid gets aced.
These fights are ridiculously close, and IMT just keeps coming out on top by the smallest of margins. TL is just losing out fight after fight, but just barely. What a flash
so good. The knock up there from Adrian, and then the walk to the side. ReignOver recognized that millisecond of an opportunity to flash Cocoon, and he took it. Everybody jumps into this pit, though, and then the follow-up damage comes through. FeniX gets to hit multiple people with Qs, and Dardoch gets to auto-attack across multiple members. But that Cocoon, once again, ReignOver, back-to-back Cocoons coming up huge and almost taking out ReignOver, and then Dardoch not able to follow or get that auto-attack off. And right here, if he had Q'd to the right side in that tri-brush, he would have been able to blow it up fast enough, but didn't predict it.
Yeah, if he hit the double Q, he actually might have gotten that kill.
I think so. I think it's a lot of damage.
Yep. Dardoch. Saw that Maw coming in previously before, but he goes straight for the Phantom Dancer in this build. He's trying to be pretty aggro with it. And Liquid now kind of feeling a little bit of pressure. 3K down, 3.4 actually, as Immortals continue to tighten their hold on this game after opening up that mid turret. We saw the play top from Liquid, but it always seems like they have to push themselves a little too far to get that play.
I think in this game, though, game 3 where you're down 2-0, you have to push hard, dig deep, and you have to take those chances, and you have to hope that they come up big, because you want those 20 extra championship points, and TL, they want to make 3rd place for the 3rd time in a row.
Yeah.
I will say, TL is actually, I think this is their best game so far. Their fights that they've been picking, I think, are the correct fights. It's just tiny little outplays that Immortals are making, tiny little mistakes that TLs are making in these fights that are deciding them. They're all coming down to a couple HP here or there, and if TL just did something a little bit better, they would be the ones coming out on top in the fight.
And it's been incredibly unfortunate as well. The Kalista now going over to Piglet for Team Liquid. He hasn't been able to get any kills this game, just due to the way the fights are going. 5 assists always feels much better as 5 kills when you're an AD carry, obviously.
Which is what Turtle has.
Yep. Well, Piglet's also now down 2.3 thousand gold. So the person that TL likes to play around, they like to play around that bot lane.
Yeah.
WildTurtle has a gigantic edge on him right now. And there was actually a lot of debate during the regular season of who's better, Piglet or WildTurtle. Piglet was doing a lot with very little, whereas everybody was saying WildTurtle, he always has a disengaged support with Adrian. He gets to make these ballsy plays. His team backs him up all the time. But right now, we've seen them head-to-head for multiple games, and WildTurtle just seems to always get the edge despite resources being funneled into Piglet. And a lot of that is they do play around WildTurtle in these fights, especially with Huni playing a top lane tank now. So the question and debate will still continue after today.
Yeah, Piglet just has not been able to turn it on so far. He has not been able to come up big in these fights, pick up the kills. In fact, I gotta say, he's been the one that the fights are starting because he's getting caught out, and it's been happening a lot. And it's not what you're used to seeing. You know, Jat talked about that max range cocoon that he got hit by in vision. This is something that Piglet would dodge 10 times out of 10 you'd expect.
Yeah.
You know, he's such a mechanically gifted player. He's so consistent, and he's been the one getting caught, and he's the one that his team is having to try to bail out, and that's not what you're used to seeing from TL. It's always Piglet that's safe. He's in the back. He's putting out the damage.
In most of the teams we think of, you could almost say that, yeah, that Elise wouldn't flash Cocoon, but it is Immortals.
TP.
They're
TP
going
from
to do
behind.
anything that they can. It's on to Turtle. This is a great chance for Team Liquid to bite back and get themselves in the game. Pobelter's locked in. He's going to have a lot of crowd control right here, but flashes over the wall immediately before Lourlo can get there. The minion wave is following shortly behind. They should be able to open up the map a little bit.
It was actually a really good ultimate from Adrian. Just the knockback time on that delayed Lourlo's W allowed Ryze to get that flash off. Had he got caught there, he might have gone down, but TL want to go for Baron anyway. They think this is their chance. They caught Turtle. We'll see if they can make it happen.
They haven't swept it. FeniX goes in. Whoa!
Seemed like they're a little disjointed there. He can't clear as much ground as the Claw. They're on to Belter, throws his shield down. Sarah's embraced as well. ReignOver's in the middle of the fight right now with Huni getting attacked by Dardoch. He gets over the wall. Also a short flash there. Getting himself into a safe situation, but even safer.
They did nothing to Pobelter there, and Pobelter's still 100% okay, and they're looking for more. He can't get the pin.
He's looking for a bit more power, and it's Piglet. Piglet goes down once again as the team not even leaves him out to dry, are moving just quicker.
I mean, TL did kind of just walk away, though. I was really surprised by that. I felt like they still could have just walked out as a team. But, you know, whether Piglet was late or his team was early, they needed to be together. And Dardoch's going to get caught now as here comes Huni.
Oh, they're forced to fight in this as well. Since they stayed, Lourlo went right on to Huni. Dardoch could get out of this one. FeniX to the other side, but they are just going in one after the other to help each other. But it's just causing more hurt.
And Pobelter has been massive in these fights. They keep trying to focus him down. That Ryze is actually rather tanky, and he has cleanse, so he starts making that CC that you're trying to throw on him. Not even close to effective, and he'll get out much faster, be able to actually vamp back up. And that's going to be Baron for Immortals here in Game 3.
And here comes Huni. He's able to TP in, dodges out the Q, immediately zeroing out Matt there on the backside. And FeniX trying to turn things around. Probably would have had the damage for Turtle, but Adrian says no, has the exhaust, has the shield to support his team. And just like that, a series of plays that started with Turtle getting taken out and Liquid going to Baron ends with Liquid getting wiped off the map. Immortals with Baron again, and Immortals looking poised to perhaps end this series.
The Nasher play was a little strange from TL. They tried to bait it, and you can see they have 4 blue trinkets. They don't have double sweeper here. They don't have the vision coverage to actually cover that area and make sure that it is something that is blind to Immortals so that they walk in. And then FeniX went forward with his claw. There's a lot of decisions here from TL that are either not being followed up by their teammates, it's not being communicated properly, but whatever's happening, Immortals look way more crisp today, and they look like, even though they're playing new things, it's working out. This looks well practiced from IMT.
And the confidence is just continuing as they make pushes. They don't wait any moment, any second, millisecond to get an engage on if they see it. The entire team is on it and behind. Even if it's a bad call, they all go in on it and are coming out on top. Kind of hard not to, though, when you're 5K in the lead and now pushing the inhibitor turret once again on the base of Team Liquid 20 minutes into the game. Immortals looking very strong once again here in Game 3. Liquid looking to keep themselves alive, though. The pressure continues to build, and the Fate's Call, or rather Tempered Fate, goes out, and the Fate's Call comes back.
They got the Gragas barrel, though, and that's a big part of the Immortals engage. They have to get a cocoon onto Piglet, but that's how they were actually sectioning him off. And Pobelter with the point and click, so we'll have to see here.
Yeah, Immortals may want to just wait for mid lane to push up and rotate over there, but they're getting a lot of damage down on this turret. And Lourlo popping the ultimate. Looks like he may want to go in. Huni's really low too, though.
Yeah, turret's just gonna go down here.
Trying to do what they can. They understand they're a bit weaker in items and fight pressure here. Ultimates down for Huni at the moment, so they can't really disperse a huge fight. Gonna have to rely on Adrian for that, and he's also out of mana, but at just the right time. The team is gonna head out. They grab that bottom inhibitor and can really work the rest of the map now. Dragon's alive. They might just be back for it before they go for mid or top.
Yeah, this may go over to TL, but even if it does, I don't think Immortals really cares that much. You know, they'd like to pick up their third dragon and deny TL their first, but they don't want to take a risky fight. They just pocketed a lot of gold. They're in the lead. They want to go back, heal up, buy, and get into position. And TL's going to give them the time to do it anyway.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to actually go towards that dragon. You can see WildTurtle picking it up right now. So, third dragon to Immortals, and honestly, the claws of being fourth place are slowly wrapping around Team Liquid right now, sinking in.
Very interesting the way it came in. Liquid was super strong, coming in very confident as well.
They seem mad.
And it could be a journey over the wall. Nobody really behind them, but Dardoch, and they kind of want to get out as fast as they went in here. A lot of damage coming in. Immortals still want this fight right in front of the turret. They want Liquid to use all of their resources so they can get it and push on through the inhibitor. But will Liquid let it happen? Immortals is gonna make it happen. They're going for Piglet. Huni hits the barrel right past Liquid's members, and it takes down Piglet. That's 3 members down. Liquid is scattering to keep themselves alive, and Immortals are just going to walk up to the front door and ace Team Liquid.
And they have minions in the bot side here. This might be Immortals. They were first place in the regular season. They faltered in the semifinals, but they're gonna take down Team Liquid and claim 20 more championship points.
They're back, and they're back in a big way. It's gonna be a clean 3-0 for Immortals, coming together. Turtle coming up huge. The whole team looking godlike in this series. That's gonna be it. 3-0 for Immortals over Team Liquid.
A good game, well played across the board between these two teams, and I think at the end of that game, I was looking back to champion selects, and I was thinking, they've got FeniX on things he hardly played this year. A Cass, a LeBlanc that we only saw in the semis versus CLG, and a Lissandra that was played twice. It definitely was a bit of a kink in the chain.
Yeah, I think that Team Liquid, you know, with these rookies coming this far, they definitely think that they have more potential for the next split. Once they synergize, they get a little bit more over those nerves that we were definitely seeing in this game, and the communication gets down pat. I want to talk about Immortals though, because this is a team that was expected to get first place. And they were humiliated 3-0 by TSM, the 6th place seed.
And in that interview, they said, we didn't even expect that.
They did not expect that one bit. And they come in here today, they 3-0 Team Liquid. Very, very, very commanding performance from this squad. And this wasn't about getting third place and those extra 20 championship points. This was about saying the criticism of, right, is that how an MVP plays in the semifinals? Is that how a coach drafts in the semifinals? They are silencing those haters, showing that Immortals have more aspects to them and more dimensions than what we had seen in the regular season. And if they're able to adapt like this and then get on top of recognizing when the meta shifts, this is a squad that coming into summer, they're practicing for Worlds.
Well, it is going to be those best of 3s, and Immortals now shows that can go into those series, show change, show strength, and even a week's time and be able to change that.
And I mean, Huni has completely silenced the critics. He looked extremely strong on the tanks. All 3 games, he looked great. And I gotta say, WildTurtle coming up massive for the team throughout the series. He was just straight up playing better than Piglet. This is the guy who, you know, people are overlooking a little bit. They talk a lot more about Piglet. They talk a lot about Doublelift and stuff. But WildTurtle, you know, he's not sitting in the back. He's getting in there for the team. He's picking up the kills. He plays it right to the very edge. And he's able to come up so big for the team.
Pobelter as well. We see this guy be a huge boon of versatility for the team, bringing out the Azael after not really seeing it much, and then the Ryze again. Just really able to play the matchups he was going against at a base level and then help the team out afterwards. Like you said, we weren't really seeing or have seen Pobelter be a star player in the mid lane, right? He brings a lot to the table, but here he definitely started to define and show himself.
Yeah, and I mean, FeniX was the guy who had the counter pick multiple games against Pobelter. And Pobelter is the one that's performing better in these games anyway. He's the one that's staying alive. He's the one that's, you know, building intelligently, team fighting intelligently. And I have to say that this really was truly a team win for Immortals.
Yeah, and I think Immortals, showing that it only took them a week to really get everything in order, kind of points to the 3-0 series against TSM, that was more of them being misled by their scrim results. I got to talk to their coach, and he's like, it really looks out of place if you didn't see what practice was like. If you saw what practice was like, they thought that Lucian top was good. They thought that Gangplank was good because they were probably crushing people with it, right? And with that many weeks of practice and you do that, then you come onto the stage and say, well, this is how we've been winning all along.
Yeah.
And now they've adapted, and it was very quick to actually just turn it and say, oh, yeah, we always had this. We just didn't think it was the best strategy at the time.
Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect.
Practice makes habit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And for the player perspective on that series, let's check in with Freak, who's got